All right, we are jumping now to chapter 12. This is lesson 1. It is on circumference. Again, some of you might find this a review, some of you it might be newer to. A couple things that you guys need to know. So the distance from the center to the outer edge of the circle is called your radius. If the line goes from one side of the circle through the center to the other side, that's your diameter, so it goes all the way across. So the radius is half the diameter. So if I told you the diameter was 10, the radius would be 5. Or if I told you the radius was 2, the diameter would be 4. Circumference is not the area. Circumference is like the distance around a circle. It's almost the same as like perimeter. So perimeter around a rectangle, you add up all the sides. Circumference around the circle is just the distance around the outside edge. Now, I know that your calculators do 3.14, but some of you may not have yours home. Oh, sorry, let me say that again. I know your calculators has the pi button on here. It's right here. However, if you're not using it, then you would type in 3.14. I am going to type in directions saying only use 3.14. The pi button, technically, I don't know if you've ever looked, if you hit pi and hit enter, it's 3.14159 and so forth. So sometimes our answers will be off a little bit. So I'm requesting, while you're using pi during this chapter, please type just 3.14. All right, so a couple things. They had found back in who knows when, because I really don't know, that every time they took the distance around the circle and then divided it by the diameter, they kept getting this 3.14159 and so forth. And that's basically how they came up with pi. So taking the circumference, dividing it by the diameter would give you pi every single time. So then they figured that they could then use pi to find the circumference. So if they knew the diameter and multiplied it by pi, you would get the circumference. If you had only the radius, remember the radius is half, basically if you double it and then multiply it by 3.14, you would get the circumference. So if we were in school, I would make you write out, oh, this one's a diameter, went all the way through. So I would use the formula C equals pi times D. And then C equals, again, we're all gonna just type 3.14 times 12. And then 3.14 times 12. And that ended up with 37.68. I'm trying to remember, I'm gonna look real quick. They do ask you to round to the nearest tenth. So basically the circumference is approximately equal to 37.7 and it would be inches. However, in your Google Forms, you are only going to type this. No C equals, whoops, sorry. No C equals, no inches, anything like that, just the numbers. All right, the next one, because it says radius, I'm not gonna use the diameter formula, I'm gonna use the radius. So again, if we were in school, this is my expectation, you'd write C equals 2 pi r. C equals 2 times 3.14 times 3.6, which was the radius. Take my calculator again, not using the pi key, 2 times 3.14 times 3.6 equals 22.608. Rounding to the nearest tenth would leave us with C is approximately equal to 22.6, and it would be kilometers. Again though, on Google Form, only the number.